Crazy thing about this review is that I actually wrote this review 2 months ago, and for whatever reason, I just never got around to recording a video. So if you're wondering, like, why are you releasing a review for Rise of the Ronin so late? It's because of that. I have a lot of things I'm working on. Tech reviews, game reviews, projects, consultations, voiceover work, so much. So I'm very, very busy. And this one kind of slipped through the cracks, and I kind of want to circle back around to and present you guys with my review for Rise of the Ronin. Again, thank you to PlayStation for providing a free copy of the game. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin embarks on a bold journey, marking Team Ninja's first venture into the vast expanse of an open world game. Expectations soar when a developer's recent successes pave the way for their next project, and deviating from a tried and tested formula often meets with skepticism. Consider the case of Wulong, Fallen Dynasty, which was released just a year prior, which could have easily passed for Neo 3 without ruffling feathers. A trilogy steeped in the unforgiving combat of Souls-like games and concise mission designs. No strategy in advertising could shield Rise of the Ronin from criticism over Team Ninja's pivot in a direction. This departure is evident in Rise of the Ronin's gameplay, which, despite sharing visuals and interface elements with Neo and Wulong, charts a distinct path as an open-world action RPG. It draws comparisons to Ghost of Tsushima, which I recently just reviewed on this channel. Also reviewed it 2 other times too, so total of 3 times I reviewed Ghost of Tsushima. So yeah, go check that out too. In both its expansive nature and moderate challenging difficulty, encouraging exploration at a leisurely pace. Furthermore, Team Ninja ventures deeper into narrative territory than before, weaving a tale amidst the turbulent end of the Bakumatsu period and the dawn of the Meiji Restoration. A fascinating, albeit rarely explored, slice of history in video games. Although if you're really curious about, what's the best way to learn a lot about the Bakumatsu, go check out Rurouni Kenshin. This era represents a pivotal moment for Japan, breaking from over 2 centuries of isolation to confront the world stage. Spurred by Commodore Matthew Perry's arrival and the subsequent push towards modernization and diplomatic engagement with the West. Japan's transition sparked rapid advancements, but also brought hardships. Cholera outbreaks introduced by foreigners, economic instability due to unfair trade practices, and escalating tensions leading to civil strife. Team Ninja captures this dynamic period with a narrative that questions allegiances in a politically charged landscape. Offering players a choice between siding with the shogunate or its opposition, amidst this complex backdrop, combat remains a cornerstone of the experience, albeit without the mythical creatures characteristic of previous Team Ninja titles. Instead, the game injects excitement through historical figures and anachronism, much like the liberties taken in the Assassin's Creed series. And for further context, I kind of consider this game Tenchu 5 or Tenchu Remade. I know it's not technically a Tenchu game, and it's, well, in many ways different to Tenchu, because you could say like Sekiro is more Tenchu than anything else, but I kind of view this as a Tenchu in a way. So yeah, that's just me as a Tenchu fan. I'm waiting for a new Tenchu game, so yeah. And when it comes to the game, players assume the role of a lone samurai, navigating an open world rich with political intrigue and choices that seem to shape the nation's future. Character customization offers extensive control over a character's appearance and combat preferences, from traditional katana mastery to more diverse weapon styles, influencing skill availability and progression. Combat strays from the punishing difficulty of its predecessors, adopting elements from Souls-like games while offering a more accessible experience. It emphasizes timing along with ki or stamina management and a varied arsenal, from melee to ranged weaponry. The dynamic of draining an opponent's ki to unleash devastating attacks adds depth and strategy to encounters. Additionally, the game introduces a character switching mechanic that enhances combat flexibility and interaction with companion characters. Exploration reveals meticulously crafted representation of mid-19th century Japan, from the bustling streets of Yokohama to the historical depth of Kyoto, engaging in a wide array of activities from clearing bandit strongholds to uncovering hidden treasures and befriending felines. Yes, you see a cat, find it and pet it. It enriches the player's connection to the world. And despite all of this game's strengths, it seldomly ventures beyond the conventions of its genre, offering a familiar but immersive journey through its detailed landscapes and optional content. Now, this is a part where I say something a little inflammatory because I'm taking a bit of a shot at my fellow reviewers, because when this game came out, a lot of people threw up reviews, and from every review that I've watched or read, it seemed like they played no more than 2 or 3 hours of the game. Now, granted, this is something that does frequently happen when it comes to game reviews, and because a lot of people have deadlines, have main projects they're working on, so if something doesn't immediately grab them, then they're going to write up based off of the limited time they have. Now, some outlets and journalists and game YouTubers and whatnot will have a game, weeks ahead of time, months ahead of time, so they have time to work on it. But in this case, a lot of people got this within a week of the release, and so a lot of reviews just felt shallow. I played over 50 hours of this game, and the more I played, the more things got unlocked, and the stuff that I got to do in this game, I didn't see anyone talk about it in any review, and I kind of was scratching my head about that. I'm like, huh. So journalistic integrity just doesn't exist anymore, and it's very evident. I mean, that also applies to YouTubers too. There's really little integrity. It's really so much of a thing of, hey, can I get you to click on this video, give me views and likes and all that and engagement so I can get more revenue? That's kind of how it is. So if you're going into this and this is all you've gone off of, like just watching other YouTubers just bash this game, I really want you guys to go and try it yourself, because while there's some jank, there's a lot to love with this title. And I don't feel like anyone really accurately speaks on that. Like, no one really goes and does a review of a game 6 months later or a year later, and that's something that I think needs to change, because a lot of games just don't get a fair shake when they first launch. And again, we're going to talk about the graphics too, because that is also something where I could see a lot of people complaining about it, because yeah, it kind of does look a little rough when you put it in comparison to other games that have come out this generation, even the previous generation. But it's Koei Tecmo. I mean, come on. Now, there is a multiplayer aspect to the game which complements the solo experience, allowing for cooperation without overshadowing the single-player journey. However, technical shortcomings, particularly in facial animations and performance in densely populated areas, detract from the overall polish. And when it comes to the audio landscape, it features both impressive and completely inconsistent voice acting across languages, which can, at times, I guess, be a detriment to the authentic experience of it. But, I mean, as long as you can understand what's being said, I mean, I don't mind some cheese. I mean, this is, sometimes the voice acting hits, and sometimes it reminds me of the mid to late 90s voice acting. So, hey, it's got some gems and got some cheese. Nothing wrong with both. All that being said, though, wrapping everything up, Rise of the Ronin delivers a compelling blend of story, setting, and gameplay. It presents an engaging mix of historical context and imaginative gameplay that, while not groundbreaking, offers a rich and rewarding experience. The post-game content extends the adventure, inviting players to delve deeper into its meticulously crafted world and the intricate tapestry of its narrative. And other than that, I mean, if you're looking for a fun open world samurai game that isn't Ghost of Tsushima, this is a game for you. It's got a lot of creative elements to it. And like I said, there's some jank to it, but it's still a fun game nonetheless. And I feel like when it comes to us, when it comes to critiquing games as YouTubers, as game journalists, and just gamers in general, I feel like we're getting to a point where we've moved so far away from critiquing a game based on its fun factor and based on every other aspect of it. And that's unfortunate. I want to play a game that's fun. And even if it's got jank, if I can have fun with it, that's all that matters. But that's a personal thing for me. So I'm going to give a rating to Rise of the Ronin of 4 out of 5. And that wraps up the review for Rise of the Ronin. Again, thank you to PlayStation for providing a review copy of the game. What do you guys think of this game? Is this something you picked up already? Are you playing it? Are you enjoying it? Whatever your thoughts are, let's go ahead and get the conversation going in the comment section down below. And if you want to pick up this game, I will leave affiliate links in the description. There won't be any additional charge to you if you use my link. It just gives a little kickback to the channel, which I reinvest in the channel. All that being said, though, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay safe, be blessed, have a little I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, and we hope.